Welcome back to more Sip2Tally. I'm your host, Coach Evans, and today we're going to take a look at our number 15 team. We've passed the halfway point. We're at the top 15 teams, and that number 15 team on today's more Sip2Tally Power Rankings are the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, at one point last season, they were undefeated, and they were like the top of the power rankings, but they were winning ugly, barely winning, skating past teams. And second half of the season, the ball bearings kind of fell off of those skates, and they didn't finish where they started, and kind of had everybody wondering like what the heck happened. Let's kind of get into what they got coming back and why they were projected so high last year, and why I have them the second tier level teams this year. So in that quarterback room, they are returning Jalen Hurts, who has set himself up to could be one of the top tier quarterbacks in the league. Got a massive contract, and the contract actually helps the team go out and get other players. He got a bunch of void years on it, so his contract is team friendly, so to speak, but it's also his pocket friendly. And in that quarterback room, in that quarterback room, I have ninth because, no matter how you feel about Jalen Hurts, they produce on the offensive side of the ball. And all kind of metrics say offensively, they produced. So what he did for the team, he was 352 for 538, 65.4% completion percentage, 3,558 yards with 15 touchdowns. With 23 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. And we know he scored a bunch of first downs and runs off the tush push because they were one of the best teams at it in the NFL. Backup-wise, they brought in Kenny Pickett from the Steelers. We know what he did over there. He played in 12 games, threw for 2,070 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. And they also got Tanner McKee in that room, who have no stats. But adding Kenny Pickett to that room is another reason that pushes the entire room in the top 10. Because Kenny Pickett, whether you think he's a good starter or not, he's definitely a high-quality backup because he has the experience with starts and whatnot and all the stuff he's been through over in Pittsburgh. So the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback room, in my opinion, I got ranked number 9. Let's talk about their running back room. In their running back room, I have them ranked 22nd. Start that room off with their big off-season acquisition from the New York Giants, who we heard a lot of talk about. If you watched Hard Knocks Tuesday, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is 26 years old on his. This would be his third contract since, if we want to consider that franchise tag. No, he didn't get franchise. Yeah, he did. He got franchise tag. Technically his third contract, but he got out of there. He's with the Eagles now. Last year with the Giants. This will be his first, about a year and a half after that major injury. 14 games, 962 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns. He also caught 41 passes for 260 yards and 4 touchdowns. And you can tell by the back and forth with the executive part of the Giants organization, they were worried about where they're going to get offensive production without Saquon on the team. Also in Philadelphia's backfield, they got Kenny Gainwell, who's a holdover. He rushed for 364 yards last year, and they drafted Will Shipley from Clemson University. One of the reasons why I have this running back room ranked 22nd is because of you lose an individual up front, which we'll talk about later. And you're up front, you're still good. But they failed last year, the coaching wise, they failed to do a lot of setup and movement. They lined up and ran the plays. They lined up and ran a lot of inside zone. So if they're going to change that philosophy, maybe to help Saquon, but if they're going to stay and do the same things they did, defenses are going to know when Saquon's going to get the ball and when he's not. Now you're just trying to have Saquon out-athlete people, and I don't know how well it's going to work. Gainwell's okay. Shipley's a rookie. So this, you really putting all this on Saquon, and how well is he going to hold up? Now, he should be back to the Saquon that we know and love before the injury, because it's been a while since it, but you're putting a lot on him, and for that matter, I got that room ranked 22nd because you just putting all it on him, and he really don't have a like Gainwell and Shipley are not Robbins in my opinion. But let's move on to wide receiver. In the wide receiver room, they got two dudes. They got two guys over there. We'll start with A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown played in 17 games last year. Had 106 catches at one point. And correct me if I'm wrong in the chat box. Oh, well, sorry, in the comments. He had 5 or 6 games with over 100 yards or over 125 yards throughout the season. And he was balling for a minute. So he finished with 1,456 yards and 7 touchdowns. His opposite is Devontae Smith. He had 81 catches, 1,066 yards, and 7 touchdowns. So those two guys right there, they dudes. A third receiver right now is probably Paris Campbell. They brought in from where did Paris Campbell play last year? In the Colts, maybe with the Colts. He only had 20 catches for 104 yards. They got a rookie, Ania Smith from Texas A&M. They also got the tall rookie from Florida State, Johnny Wilson. But they also have Brian Covey that they kept also. He only had 4 catches for 42 yards. So who's going to be the number 3 receiver for the Eagles? The competition is there, but right now it's looking like it's going to be Paris Campbell. The Eagles receiver room, I have ranked 6. But that's mainly on the strength of how good A.J. Brown is, Devontae Smith. They're carrying this entire room. Like, if just those two guys, if it was just those two guys, this probably be a top 2, maybe top 2 or top 3 receiver room. But because I'm so, like, I still think Devontae Smith is slept on as a receiver. Like, when you list receivers, Devontae probably won't be in your top 15 or top 20, but I think he's that good of a receiver. He just happened to be on the team with another top 10 receiver. So, again, before I get stuck on receiver play, because y'all know I love talking about wide receivers, let's move on. In the tight end room, and I have their tight end room ranked 17. Dallas Goedert, last year, 59 catches, 592 yards, 10 touchdowns. 10 yards per catch and 3 touchdowns. My bad. 10 yards per catch, 3 touchdowns. They brought in C.J. Uzomah from the Jets. For the Jets, he had 8 catches, 56 yards, and 1 TD. And then the third guy in that room is a holdover Grant called Katera. I think I said that right. 4 catches, 39 yards. And tight end room is okay. Bringing in Uzomah gives them a good number 2 guy in that tight end room. So they should be okay at tight end. If they want to do some 12 personnel stuff, they should be good. But if one of those guys goes down, I don't know how well Grant could fill in for them. I just don't know enough about Grant to bump that room up and give them a higher number, a higher ranking than they already have. Let's talk O-line for a second. Their O-line has been one of the best O-line in the game for a long time. And right now I have their O-line ranked 5th. On said O-line is Jordan, and I always butcher his last name, Malatala. You know who I'm talking about. Jordan Mailata. There it is. I got it right. Make sure I get it right. Jordan Mailata. He PFF grade 84.8. Landon Dickerson 69.4. Cam Jurgens 61.4. Tyler Steen 55.2. And Lane Johnson 80.1. They have probably two of the best, probably the best tackle combination in the game. If not the best, one of the best tackle combinations in the game. Them losing Kelsey is going to hurt. Kelsey's replacement right now only graded at 61.4, but Kelsey in that position last year was a very high grade, and losing Kelsey probably takes them from being the top 1 or 2 O-line and drops them down to being top 5. But I really like what they have up front, and this will be the best O-line that Saquon Barkley has ever played in front of. So if Saquon could stay healthy, he could have a monster year. But I just wish they had a better Robin for Saquon. But now I'm going back to running backs. But who knows? They may sign some of these older guys that ain't been signed yet to help. Philadelphia be mixing and matching and wheeling and dealing over there, so you never know what they do. But this will be the best O-line that Saquon has ever played behind it. And to me, they're the 5th best O-line in the NFL. Let's talk a little defense. Going to the dark side. Got a little 3-4-ish scheme going on, especially on paper. We'll start with the three guys up front, the defensive interior guys. Milton Williams last year, half a sack, 42 tackles. Jordan Davis, not a rookie no more, but a young buck from Georgia, 2.5 sacks, 45 tackles. What's that? 2 TFLs and 5 QB hits, and also Jalen Carter, the other young buck from Georgia. So it's Georgia heavy. Defense up front, I think Carter is progressing along faster than Jordan Davis, but if Jordan Davis can eat up blocks, Carter and Milton Williams can kind of do their thing in those two techniques, so their 4 eyes, however they play them. And Jalen Carter last year had 6 sacks, 33 tackles, 8 TFLs, and 9 QB hits. On the outside, stand-up guys, if they're going to do that traditional 3-4. You got another Georgia guy, Nolan Smith, who's, I think, ran a 4.3 at the combine. Nolan last year played sparingly, played in 17 games. He had only 10 tackles. He had a sack, 1 TFL, 3 quality hits, but he rotated. He wasn't the main starter. He rotated with Hassan Reddick and some other guys up there. But now Nolan is the guy, unless he just whiffs in camp. Alongside of Nolan, they brought in a guy from the Jets, Bryce Huff, who had quality year, played in 17 games. He had 10 sacks. 10. Double-digit sack guy. So that should kind of replace what they lost on the edge. Also, 29 tackles, 10 TFLs, and 21 QB hits. Now, with their front D-line edge group, I have it ranked 4th. That's legit. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, Bryce Huff. That's legit right there. And the only pushback or I would say weak link to me up there is Milton. And we'll see how that goes. So to me, I have this group ranked very, very high. I got a lot of faith in this group, and I think this front group will help out this next group we're going to talk about, which is the linebackers. Their linebacker group, their interior linebacker group. Young, fast, got to stay healthy though. And their linebacker group I have ranked 25th. Now, this guy Nakobe Dean, root to the Brewers. I need you to stay healthy, big dog. This is, if I'm not mistaken, this will be his 3rd year. Last year he only played in 5 games, 30 tackles, half a sack. TFL is only 2, 1 QB hit. Like they've been waiting on him to take this middle linebacker job and just command this defense, and just got to stay healthy. If I'm not mistaken, he hasn't played in but about 12 to 15 games for the Eagles, like totally. So he just got to stay healthy, take this defense and command it. But they brought in Devin White from the Bucks. We know Devin White Super Bowl champion. Just his time just ran out in Tampa Bay, and last year for them he had 2.5 sacks, 83 tackles, 9 QB hits, 5 TFLs. But I think Nakobe Dean's just a younger version of Devin White. Maybe a little smaller, because both of them can fly. Both of them very intelligent. They got to get on the same page. Nakobe Dean got to stay healthy. And I like what they have at the linebacker crew. They just got to prove it. Both of them got their flaws. And that's why I got them ranked where they at. But who don't have flaws? But with what they got in front of them, they have an opportunity to be really, really good. Because those guys in front of them going to make life hell on offensive linemen. They just got to do their job on the second level. All right, let's go to the secondary. Start with the secondary. Cornerback play. Now, that cornerback play, I have ranked 29th. All right, in the cornerback room, we start with big play Slay, Darius Slay. Reason I have it like that, I think Slay's play is starting to decline. And I think this may be the year where Slay eventually gets replaced. And they did draft a corner to start with, Quinyon Mitchell. Quinyon Mitchell's probably going to be is the next guy, the next name that I was going to mention in this list. But Darius Slay had 14 passes defended last year. He still played at a high level, but I just think this is the year that his play is going to kind of fall off, and that's why I got him ranked well. I got him. Had 57 tackles, 14 passes defended, and again they drafted the rookie Quinyon Mitchell from Toledo, and also Avonte Maddox is probably going to be that nickel guy. And when they picked him up, he had 2 pass defenders and 12 tackles in his time with Philadelphia because he got picked up later on in the season. So that's why he don't have many stats with the Eagles. And the last group, the safety group. Had the safety group 23rd. And the guys that don't mention in the safety group, Reed Blankenship, 112 tackles last year, 11 passes defended. Reed solid. He, not gonna bash, not gonna praise too much. Reed's a solid football player. He makes his mistakes. He also makes his play. He's not great, not bad. Reed's a solid football player. He's a solid safety. He's gonna be where he's coached to be. Is he gonna make the play on the ball every time? No. I think his best trait is just make sure you don't catch the ball, and then getting you to the ground. When you break out or whatever. So Reed's solid. They brought in C.J. Gardner-Johnson back from the Lions. That's the attitude guy. That's the rah-rah guy. He's probably going to be the heart. Where you want your heart of the defense to be a linebacker, CJ's probably going to be the heart of your defense. He's going to make plays. He's going to talk. And he don't have a lot of stats because he didn't play toward the end of the year for the Lions. 17 tackles, 3 passes defended. But CJ's going to be the heart of the defense if he's healthy. He's going to be the get in your face, to the talk to the other team, he's just gonna be the guy that fires everybody up. He's gonna be that guy. Whether you want that to be a linebacker, it's gonna be CJ. And again, for the safety room, I have 23. Let's go back through all the rankings and see where we have them. Add them up, divide them, see where they at. Philadelphia Eagles, number 15 team. In their quarterback room, number 9. Running backs, 22nd. Wide receiver, 6. Tight end, 17. Offensive line, 5th. Defensive line, 4th. Linebackers, 25. Cornerbacks, 29. Safety, 23. Add that all up. Divide it. 15.55556. And they're the number 15 team on the more Sip2Tally Power Rankings for Friday, July 5th, 2024. Let's look at their draft picks and see how they're going to insert or fit in the Philly offense or defense this year. So we talked about Quinyon Mitchell already. It's probably going to be one of their starters. Cooper DeJean, I mentioned. We don't know if he's going to play corner or safety. Probably play a mixture of both, but he's definitely going to be in that mix. There's no doubt in my mind. They took DB with their first 2 draft picks. Jaylus Hunt from Houston Christian. Probably could get in that rotation with Nolan Smith on that edge group. Will Shipley, I think he's going to be in that running back group. He's going to be in that running back battle. I think he'll beat Gainwell out for the number 2 back. Anaya Smith, the receiver from Texas A&M. Somebody got to be the number 3 receiver. Why not, get in that battle? Jeremiah Trotter Jr. has an opportunity to fit in that linebacker group because that linebacker group is very, very unpredictable, especially with the injury prone of my guy. I just talked about his name. Hold on. What's his name? Nakobe Dean. Trevor Keane, offensive lineman. If he plays center, maybe he can get in that battle and or one of those guard spots. Johnny Wilson, wide receiver from Florida State, we talked about with that huge frame, like 6'7" or whatever. And then Dylan McMahon from North Carolina State. We'll see what they got as far as linebackers. Now, another name that I didn't mention at the linebacker spot, Zach Bond may be in that mix too. Zach Bond may get a chance to fight for one of them linebacker spots with Nakobe Dean as well. But Zach Bond normally plays on the edge, but for him to move to the inside, or not the inside, the interior linebacker, that'd be different. Zach Bond's a name to keep an eye on too, Philadelphia Eagles fans. But that's what I got for you guys, man. I appreciate you guys for coming out. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me. Let me know if I have the Philadelphia Eagles too high, too low, or even if I have any of the position groups too high, too low. Put it in the comment section, man, and like, comment, subscribe, and share, man, and put your comments out there. I read the comments for the most part, and as long as they're, they don't have to be positive. As long as the criticism is What's the word I'm looking for? Constructive. As long as it's constructive criticism about the videos, it's cool. But once you say something crazy, I'm tapping out. If I don't delete your comment. So watch them words and we be good, man. Cause I know I ain't perfect, but we try to do better over here. Peace and love, y'all.